Say me. There's Astra.
Ouch. Ah.
Okay. I have something weird going on with my hair over here.
Looks great.
I'm just gonna put it like that. Okay. All right. Go.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Soul Quest episode 40.
Hello.
Hi, Sharon. Sharon's coming from Austin. I'm coming from Houston, and we thought we'd do this episode just to give a little, what do you say it? A synopsis.
Synopsis. I like that word. Of our trip.
A recap
of our Costa Rica adventure, our first international retreat.
Yes. And first of all, I'd like to say, Sharon, kudos. My hat, which I'm not wearing one, but if I did, it goes off to you. You put in your heart and soul, and you believed in it, and you had some times of, during this whole, but it happened the way it happened, and it was beautiful. And I thank you so much for asking me to be a part of it. And it was like a dream, to be honest. Like, it was unbelievable. Like I feel like I was on another planet.
I know, me too. I know, me too. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for believing in my dream and putting your fears aside and saying yes, because I know it was a scary thing to do. And I just felt in my heart that I had to do it. It just felt right. And I've been learning as I grow older to listen to that ping and that intuition. And so I went after it, and it turned out, it didn't turn out as we expected, right? Because there were some challenges. It was a 15-person minimum, and that was challenging, getting people to want to travel out of the country. There's still people scared of that. And then, just other reasons. But it was really hard. And this is my first time like really marketing for a retreat, especially out of the country. So it was really challenging. And I learned a lot of lessons along the way. So I know that next time I'll do it better. But in the end, we both agree that the amount of people that showed up, the amount of people that we got it was actually the perfect number for our first time, right? I mean,
yes, I couldn't. I know if there would have been more people, like there wouldn't have been the connections made amongst all of us.
right?
Like I felt we were like a little tight, niche. Everyone kind of got to know everyone a little bit more, and I felt like I spent a little bit of time with everybody, just like talking, conversating, and everybody spent time with everybody else, So it wasn't like if you had like 20 or 30 people, those connections probably wouldn't have been made. You know what I mean? Like someone would have stuck to, who they thought just clicked with. And
you're right. If there was a bigger group, it would have been harder. Well, people would have made their connections, but they probably would have went off in little groups and not gotten to know the other people as well. So
true.
It ended up being 8 of us total, and it worked great. And we all learned so much from each other. I really appreciate everything that everyone brought into the retreat. Like, I seriously just wanted to sit back and just let everyone else share their experiences in life, because I feel like that was the best group dynamic, was when we're all sharing about what we're dealing with and how we're growing. And it was really great to see everybody's light shine and the growth that just happened in the 5 days that we were there with some of them that we saw.
Yes.
That was amazing to see. And that wasn't
the change.
Right.
Yeah.
It was mostly just them overcoming, fears of things, being alone or being out in the jungle.
Yeah.
Things like that I didn't even think about would come up, or like the small airplane and the fears there.
Oh yeah.
Which I knew was actually an issue for one of the people I was trying to get to go to the retreat. She mentioned that she was scared of small planes, and I tried to help her with that, but I mean, she didn't come. So we did experience that with one of the participants, and I was so focused on, what are we going to do at the retreat to make it worthwhile, but we didn't even have to do anything. It would still been amazing because the place was just out of this world.
It was like heaven. I mean, I don't know what heaven is really like, but it was pretty damn close to the expression.
I swear it was like absolute paradise. Like, I mean, I knew it was going to be amazing, but I never could have thought how amazing it was. And maybe if we had 15 people there, we might not have felt the same way. Like, I don't know, we might not have enjoyed it as much because there would have been more people. We had this whole place to ourselves.
Yeah, we had 20 acres of jungle. And it was all to ourselves. Cool. It almost like too was like the fabulous, awesome, great meals by Chef Daniel. Like they also said to us too, is like, if you want more, just ask, Like,
yeah.
Luckily, like I didn't, I can eat, but I mean, I ate everything on my plate, but I never asked for seconds, but they fed you enough. You know what I'm saying? Like all the fresh fruit. You start off with fruit and the juices and the smoothies, and then the appetizer, and then the main dish. And sometimes they came with salad on the side. And then after that was the amazing desserts. Some of them I was like, whoa, what is this? Once you mix it all together, it's like, pow. But
yeah, there's some really different tastes, unique tastes. It was cool. And I think that's what I like so much about retreats is that you're being fed, like you're not having to worry about what you're going to eat. That something's going to be prepared for you with love. And that was a big part of that place. It was the food and how they served it, and all the ambiance with all the candles, and we're like in the jungle. The music, and then the people, and oh my God, the kombucha that came out. Like
it was like fresh kombucha.
I was just telling you the day before, it's like I miss kombucha. I really need some kombucha because I have kombucha almost every day.
You manifest that.
I was like, oh my God,
boom! They put it on the table.
It was the best kombucha ever.
And it was like different flavors of kombucha on top of it. You know what I'm saying? It just was
lemongrass, ginger.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
I thought it was like an apple or something.
Yeah, it was like apple. I mean, oh my gosh, they were amazing.
Yeah, I think the kombucha came like on day 2 or 3. Like we didn't have the first.
We only had it for 3, like through day 3 and 4 every day. It was like a treat.
Yeah. It was excellent. But yeah, the staff was absolutely amazing and very funny too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Rogelio will always be in our hearts. I mean.
Yeah. Shout out to Rogelio, the whole crew. They
I don't think the stories that we have, that we tell, I don't think if you're not there, you can't understand how funny and entertaining and, how funny it was, because you have to really be there and the things that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, they were
some
great.
Really good laughs, some scares and some laughs.
Yeah, there were, I forgot the 2 guys' names, but they were the guys who came out and talked about the food. Who were those guys? I'm sorry, I forgot. It was
Chef Daniel?
No, they were the guys who served us. There were 2 guys, like every night, every day.
Raul
there was a guy. It wasn't Rogelio. It was this 2. It was 2 Hispanic guys, and they came out and they explained all the meals. What were they made out of? Like,
and they came from their family farm down the road that they support.
Yeah, those guys were cool. They. Like, all right, tonight we got blah, 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 blah with a mushroom paste, like I've never had mushroom paste before.
I know, that was one of my favorites.
I was like, damn, mushroom paste? Like, it was just pretty much grounded, into
mushroom,
like mushroom, but like it was just oh God. Like, I mean, you remember what I told Daniel? He looked at me, Chef Daniel. I said, Daniel, I've been a vegetarian for 10 out of 14 years. And I said, your food is the effing best vegan food I've ever eaten in my entire, and he went like, What'd you say? Say that again.
Oh,
But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Like I was telling some of my clients when I got back, and some of them are meat eaters, and I was like, I promise you, you would have been like, meat, what? Like everything was just so tasty. You know what I'm saying? Like the
yeah,
combination.
you didn't miss the meat. It was
Yeah,
just,
I didn't miss any meat. I mean,
and
there
it
was.
was, yeah, it was cool because the flavor, a lot of vegan places, I remember Annie's taken to me to some California vegan places, and it was just too spicy. Like they try to replace the meat with a lot of spice, and I just don't like that. But this was like perfect. If you wanted extra spice, you got that special sauce.
Oh
Right?
yeah, they made their sauce was like a habanero mango, so it had a sweet and a kick to it. And of course, after day 2, I started asking for it, and they brewed it up real quick and just handed
Yeah.
me a little cup of it. And then yeah, it was just, and then Shan saw me ask for it, and then she was all about it too, man.
I know.
Shan was like, could you share that with me? And then I was like, hey, I was like, get her some because I want my own hot sauce. And they brought us out hot sauce like the last 3 days with every meal. But I mean, we just asked for it, and they just like did it right there on the spot. It was excellent though. But yeah, the 6 souls, who came out and got a chance to like shine their light. I feel like the icebreakers kind of really just everyone just kind of threw stuff out on the table, like no one was really scared to talk about anything.
You're right. Yeah.
And I mean,
I think because we kind of knew, it felt like some of them were together for a while before we met up with them. So they kind of were more comfortable on that plane. And then it just seemed like we were so comfortable with each other so fast, right? Like,
yeah, I feel like
I knew one of them from my divorce group. So I felt like that was my first time meeting her in person.
Yeah, and then we knew Sonia. We went to school with Sonia.
Sonia, we went to high school with, and we've known for years. So that was interesting. And then the only guy that came, Chris, he was like Tarzan. Everybody called him Tarzan.
Yeah, the adventurer.
Yeah. So it was, nature.
He shined some light on just being brave and helping everybody. Like he had nothing to hide.
Right. He was there to just open up his soul and heart and just learn whatever he could.
Yeah, and I felt like the other people and all the others, several of them were, looked at him as like someone to come and be brave, what I'm saying, with him.
Right. Yeah. I was so glad he was there because he definitely was looked at as a mentor with those girls.
Yeah.
And I think it helped a lot. So it was great. Everybody had, a perfect place. And it was so interesting how like like 2 of them, well, 3 of them came from, New Jersey, New York area. 2 of them were on the plane together, so they got to know each other, and they didn't know each other. Now they know each other, and so they can meet up and have lunch. And then 2 of them came from Texas together. Of course, we were together, but so it's like interesting how they were 2 pairs on planes together, like paired up. So they got to know each other a little bit before they even got to the retreat.
And, shout out to Diana who drove. So then we all arrived in San Jose. And
right, we all arrived in San Jose, and then we met up for the small plane that took us to Quepos, where I thought I got locked in the bathroom, but I didn't know how to open the door. I was like, no, they can't leave me. I was so scared I was gonna get left there. Because we were in 2 different cars. So I was like, they could totally leave me and not even know that I'm not in the other car. I was like, I'm in the bathroom. Okay. So then we got there, and it was just like, what is happening here? Like, did we just land on heaven? They like handed those like mocktails that were so good. What, basil something?
It was like, it looked like a margarita, you know, like
Yeah, it looked like a margarita, but it was a basil something, but it was some kind of mocktail. But it felt like you had a cocktail in your hand, right? But it was no alcohol. And then this fruit bar with hummus, and then you look out at the jungle. So amazing. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this is, it felt so good to be there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
just as
felt,
soon as we got out of the car, it just felt so good.
yeah, for sure. And then, you know, they took all of our bags to everybody's room. So like you didn't have to carry that 50-pound suitcase up all those
Oh
stairs.
God, I know, I can't even imagine doing that. I mean, you would be carrying mine, of course, but you didn't have one. But yeah,
No.
our house was up a hill and up some stairs. So that would have been, I mean, we would have done it, but anyway, it was nice. You know, Imiloa is very accommodating, and
Yes,
that's part of the price. The high price of that is because we have all that help.
yeah.
You know, we have all those gourmet meals. We have people accommodating us at all hours, like helping getting bugs out of people's rooms at any time. You know, like they're there to help us in any way. Like that's why it felt like such a retreat for us too. I mean, we were leading the group, guiding the group, but we were also part of the retreat as well, like part of the participants.
Yeah. And like they took us immediately, like after we ate a little bit of appetizer food and stuff, they took us upstairs to catch the sunset. That was like
That's
the first
right.
thing.
That was breathtaking. Like the best
Every
sunset
night
ever.
was, you know, every night the sunset just sunk into the ocean.
Yes.
It left like
And
these illuminating colors just coming out everywhere.
yeah, and Jorge mentioned that. Remember when we met with him that March has the best sunsets?
I guess so. I don't know. Never been there before. So
I know, but maybe it's because the rainy season comes up in April. Maybe it's cloudy. I don't know. We'll have to try a different month next time.
yeah, that was.
I'm going back. So
Yeah, it would definitely be worth. Oh, yeah, going back, but I was bummed out a little bit. I really wanted to meet Jake Sassafil, right?
yeah, that we interviewed 2 episodes ago. Yeah, it would have been great to meet him.
Yeah, I really would have, like, just to talk to him and, just, I mean, we did talk to him, but just, face to face,
Yeah, that was a bummer, but it's okay. It all worked out how it was supposed to. And yeah, but the house that we got, because the retreat was not, minimum amount of people, we were able to stay in one of the Bali homes, which were like the VIP houses. And that was the best place to be of the whole place. So I'm so glad I was like, yeah, we might as well stay there since nobody else is. And we didn't stay in the dome, but it would be cool to stay in those geodomes too. But that house was like, oh my God, the view and like what it felt like inside a 200-year-old Bali home. And oh my gosh, I just felt like I was in heaven every time I like laid down and was looking around. And then in the morning when you open the door,
that's the first thing I did. Like, I think, of course, you got up early before me.
Yeah, because the sun starts rising at 5:30, like it gets light out. And so
actually, it was
like,
earlier than that, man.
I could not stay in bed knowing that it was light out. I was like, I got to be outside.
Yeah, I remember I made a recording of just walking out of that door, and it was just like, I mean, it was just amazing. Like the ocean again, and the sun this time is behind you.
Yeah,
it's coming up, so it's shining onto the ocean, and you can like just see the mountains were turning colors as the sun came up.
I know, the toucans and then the parrots flying over you. Like we'd see parakeets or parrots and all kinds of colorful birds flying across the sky.
Yeah, I saw a golden hawk, like a golden one. It wasn't brown like over here. You see brown hawk. This was golden. I was like, what? That thing is golden.
There's so many different things.
What was it? Yeah, what was the turkey, the Costa Rica?
Gosh, I can never remember the name. It's the great Karasu or Caraway. Is that
That thing was cool, man.
Kararu?
Like
Kararao. I don't know.
it was big
An
though.
exotic turkey looking thing. Yeah, it was cool,
But it
right?
flew. You saw it like when it
It
was on
flew up into the
trail.
tree. Yeah.
It just like its wings probably went like 8 feet wide and just
Yeah, it had that yellow crest on its head and it was walking across the road. And I was like, there's something in the forest right now. I thought it was like a mammal because it sounded like something big moving around, but it was big. It would jump
yeah.
up on the tree and then jump down, and it just sounded like some big animal. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, this bird, and it had that interesting sound.
It had a high pitched little sound for
Yeah.
such a big bird. It had such a little high sound. It's like, damn, that doesn't sound like that sound should be coming out from.
It was so cool. It was just like, I mean, this was like every day was an exploration and like learning something new, right? Like, what can we see today in the jungle? What's going to appear for us? And that was the most exciting part for me, I think, was like, what can I see? What kind of lizard? What kind of butterfly? What kind of, are we going to see the sloth that I was so set on seeing that we didn't even see?
No sloths, but I think what we saw the last day.
I know.
I'm not gonna say it was better, but it was definitely
Exciting. Yeah. The monkeys, the capuchin monkeys that came into Imiloa that last morning topped it off.
Dude, there was like 10 or 12 of those things. And they were just like jumping from branch to branch, to tree to tree. And
it was so cute.
Yeah, and they were, what was that thing they were eating? I don't know. You caught a couple, they were beating it.
Yeah, there was some kind of like pea pod or fruit pod that was like dark, right? And
Yeah,
they were
it looked
trying
like
to
a
break it
banana,
open.
like a dark banana.
It looked kind of like a banana,
yeah.
But it was hard.
Yeah.
No.
And they were breaking them and eating them. Yeah.
You know what it was? I think it was one of those trees, the formosas. It was kind of like a formosa tree because I saw the little pink flowers.
Mm.
It had those little seed pods, but these were like a different like a bigger version of those trees.
Yeah. That was the icing on the cake.
That was. I was like, I ran as fast as I
was like, man, we're not gonna see a sloth. So I guess we're leaving on us. But then when someone said the monkeys are down there, and I was like, what? And then like as we were walking towards that way, they were coming towards us.
Yeah. And they're just moving through the canopy of the forest. It was so cool.
Jumping. And
they're looking down at us with their little faces. That's a little Friends monkey, the monkey that was on Friends, Ross's monkey.
Yeah.
On Friends.
That was great.
And everybody thinks about, but those capuchin monkeys are cute. I used to always, when I was in high school, I go through phases of like my favorite animals, and the monkeys were my favorite animal for a while in high school.
Yeah.
So you're right. That really, not seeing a sloth was fine. It seems like people see sloths more in the city.
Really?
Yeah. Or like, I mean, I thought we were going to see it more easily there because it seems like I always saw pictures of people, showing sloths at Imiloa, but like, it seems like in the city, I'll see a lot of pictures because I'm on the Costa Rica travel group on Facebook, and people post pictures of sloths like moving in the city really slow, like up on wires or stuff. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We're gonna have to go back and explore somewhere else because I am ready to go back. Yeah. Anyway, so then what else? Like we would do like you did a fitness class, we do like journaling and meditation, and like by the third day we decided to like cut some stuff out because we needed more time like in the middle of the day to explore and do things. And we also got to go to the 2 different beaches. Yeah. Amazing.
Yes, that second beach day. I mean, the first beach day, like the little shop, the little market that was going on there was some really cool stuff there, man. I was like, dang, this stuff is really, and it was relatively fair price, I think. Like
those dresses, you can't find those dresses for $20 online.
No, dude, back here you would have paid at least $40 to $60, a dress.
Yeah, and they're cotton, all cotton. It was so
and
perfect.
You left yours there.
I know, I left it. I can't find. I was like, I'm gonna go find something like that online then. But if you find anything, it's like it's not all cotton, or it's made in China, getting shipped from China, or it's like, and it's like at least $30 or $40. So, yeah, I wish I could go back and get that.
I wish I would have had more, or I wish I would have had cash on me, but I didn't. I didn't even bother to ask, I didn't think about it until I was like, hey, I wonder if they take cash or Cash App or Venmo. And
Oh, at the market, yeah.
yeah,
It's
so
really cool that they take American, United States
yeah, I mean, they took
currency.
American. Yeah, they all took everywhere took American money everywhere.
Yeah, but they
There
would
wasn't,
take both either. Yeah,
yeah, there
that was
wasn't a place
good.
that didn't take American money.
Yeah, it
Even
was really cool.
because they took us when we first got there, we went to the mall, and of course, when you buy something there, they ask you U.S. or colones.
Yeah,
So I was like, damn, they ask you what do you want to pay in,
yeah. I think it's just so many Americans, U.S. citizens move there.
yeah, and you can tell like when we flew into there and then flew out, like just being in that little plane, like I could tell because I was observing, sitting by the window, and you can tell because we flew all through those mountains, and then you can tell like the Americans that lived there because they had like the kind of modern looking house like on top, and then you can see like the locals because you would see like 10 roofs,
Oh, yeah.
and the houses were smaller, but like the bigger houses, you're like, oh, yeah, I bet Americans all own those houses up there in the mountains.
Yeah, like I remember when I went to Panama and we were on a coffee tour and the guy was saying, like we never had gated communities before until now, until all these people come moving here from like the States or Canada. Now we have gated communities. They're trying to keep, they're moving there and trying to stay away from the dangerous situations they hear about, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, and then like Chelsea, the girl that was helping us with, everything, head of retreats at Imiloa, she had moved there from Texas, which is a coincidence since we're from Texas. So it was really cool to connect with her.
Cool. Like you remember when we first met her, she just had like this cool vibe.
I know. I was like, she's so cool. I'm so drawn to her.
Yeah, she's like, she
was
had
like
this
calm and
mellow voice.
Yeah.
Just like
didn't even sound at all like a Texan.
No, actually, she had said that. She said someone had asked, like, "You're from Texas?" I remember her. I think she was telling us a story, and they didn't believe she was from Texas.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's from down by the Gulf, somewhere, Palacios, I think. But,
yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, she was just. I mean, we saw her the first day, and then like we didn't see her the rest of the weekend.
Right, she was off for the weekend, and then we saw her Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah. So
it was nice to connect with her. And then, a highlight of the trip was the waterfall.
Ooh, yeah.
Which you got to go to twice. I wish I could have gone another time.
You didn't go twice?
No, I only went once. Remember, because you guys went and I didn't know where you were. I was getting ready for my class that I was going to teach. So, and then, yeah, that waterfall, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, we should have gone down there and did like a manifesting ceremony, because I was just reading in my Tufty book, how water is very energetic, and how we get into the water and we imagine the things that we want to create for ourselves. It like gets into the water and then gets into ourselves and like creates this power in us. And so now, like when I take a bath, which I used to do that anyway, every time I get in a bath, I come with all kinds of awesome ideas. But now I'm like, man, we should have done that at the waterfall. I kind of did do that a little bit, like when
I did too. Like
sitting there meditating, but I wasn't in the water doing it,
Like, yeah, I got in the water. I kind of baptized myself. Oh, it was just
Yeah.
the water. It was
cold. Refreshingly cold.
Yeah, it was cold though, but it was just like,
I didn't want to. Yeah, we were meditating for a while outside the water, and I was like, you know what? I can meditate at home. I want to meditate in the water. I just want to be mindful in the water and just look around and like meditate that way. I didn't want to close my eyes anymore. I was like, I want to be here, not there. I want to be in this moment, in this waterfall.
Yeah.
And so I got up and started walking around while y'all are still meditating.
Another highlight was which I really enjoy, like when, all right, you scheduled a cacao ceremony.
Yes.
And I thought we were just going to be like Brits and she's going to bust out the cacao and we're just going to try it and talk about it.
I don't even know Brits
like
drink
having
cacao.
tea or something, you know, and like this is from blah 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 blah. And
Oh, that's
that's,
funny.
that's what I thought. But
Oh gosh.
man, that
You
it
were
sounds.
really surprised then.
Oh my god, I was blown away. Like that girl, she was good. Like I mean, there were times like when she had us close our eyes and she was just kind of running this whole thing, and like tears just started coming out of my eyes. Like I just felt like this energy,
And she
dude. Like,
was singing.
oh, and then she started singing. It sounded like, man, she was singing her butt off, dude.
I was like, it was so ceremonial. I loved it. And I thought because they gave us two options, a more indigenous ceremony.
Mhm.
And then another one was shorter. And I think they said it was like 30 minutes. I was like, we have to do, because we didn't have the 15 people minimum, we didn't have the funds to really go all out and do different activities, which was kind of good because we didn't have time anyway. But I went for the more affordable cacao ceremony, and it was amazing. So
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be 30. It was like 2 hours and 30 minutes. Like I feel like we were just lost in time. Like when I looked at my watch, I was like,
I know
we've been here.
she did so many different things with us. It was,
Yeah.
I mean, I had never been to a cacao ceremony. I knew it was going to be like spiritual, and she really went above and beyond like what I thought it was gonna be. It was amazing. Like, oh my God. And then the cards that we pulled, the animals,
Yes, there was
were
so much.
perfect
Yeah, there was so much
for everyone.
Yeah, like the meaning behind everything and what everybody was kind of going through while they got there, like those
Yeah.
cards on point.
Everyone was, yeah, definitely dealing with their own
In mine,
challenges.
yeah.
And yours was,
So
what was yours again?
now you're making me think, but it was something I brought. I remember sitting there and then
You can't remember yours? It must not have been that significant.
no, it was because I read it out. Remember, and she met us. She asked us to read out every.
Yeah, yours was a
Oh, mine was a hawk, a crow,
yeah, crow. That's right. Yeah.
Mine was a crow, and she had us read a certain section of that, and damn, there were a couple of sayings in there. I'm sorry, I just came to. I'm just overwhelmed by everything.
No, it's okay. I mean, mine was a butterfly, and I know already what that symbolizes, so I already had it memorized. I mean, it's easy. It's like transformation and constantly transforming, and that's all. Butterfly has been a symbol for me for a while, so it was perfect. And I was like, oh, it's like when I turned it, I was like, oh my God, of course,
Yeah,
it's a butterfly.
I mean, I wrote some stuff down on a piece of paper, like all that. So I gotta look through my folder.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was good.
That was cool. And then we did the mirroring dancing, which I thought that was like. She said one person leads, and then once they lead, the other person starts to lead, and then you had to like kind of flow with whatever.
Yeah, that was really good. I like that. I think we need to use that in our couples retreat that we're having. We need to do that mirror dance. Don't forget that.
Yes, because like it was kind of like not somebody was leading the whole time. You took your turn.
Yeah.
And you had to read the cue when the lead change. And
you had to really be observant in the moment.
Yes, like you really engage with that individual. You know what I mean? Like,
and it's kind of just like a lesson in life of like learning to kind of go where you're led, and then it's your turn to kind of lead. And then I loved it. That was great.
Yeah, it was great. And like I love like her story too. Like she was like, well, I said, how'd you get here? Because she was American.
Yeah. She was from Maryland or somewhere.
Yeah. She was like, well, I graduated from college, and then I became a flight attendant for a couple years. And then she goes, I landed in Costa Rica. She's like, I've been here for 6 years.
Yeah. Well, she went to Spain to be an au pair. And then she started drinking cacao there, she said, in Spain, I think. And then she bought a one-way ticket to Costa Rica. And she's been there like 8 years or something, 6 years.
6 years. She said she was 3 years on the Caribbean side, and then
that's right.
3 years on the Pacific side.
It's really cool to meet all these different people.
Yeah, she was actually. I mean,
we should probably have her on here.
I know. We should.
I'm connected with her on Instagram, so we should.
Oh, really? Yeah, like she was just like, she was just like very mellow, and I don't know, she just seemed like a carefree kind of,
I know, right? Just nurturing and soft
living in the
spoken.
moment, soft spoken. Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, it was great. Like I think she did an excellent job. Like, I was like, my daughter, like I remember she had asked me about the mud water that,
Mm,
and I was like, oh,
I
Sharon,
love.
drink that. And then, cacao is one of the main ingredients in mud water. So, that's, I went ahead. She was selling cacao at the end. She's like, oh, cacao for sale. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get some for Iceland, so
Yeah.
I gave it to her. She's like, oh, cool. So
Oh, yeah. I mean, the mud water that I drink is definitely not that straight up cacao that we were drinking. So I think, when you're having a ceremony, definitely do it straight up cacao kind of way.
it was good. I had 2.5 cups of that stuff. I was the only
Sure
one.
did. Yeah, you're the only one that
I
had
drank
second.
the most of it.
It was good. Like I could drink it, but it wouldn't be like my morning, like every morning kind of thing,
Yeah.
I would do it intentionally, like every once in a while, like in the way that we did in the ceremonial way. So, and then like the dance party was one of my favorite times too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because
Of course,
Virgilio,
the
it's just
oldest like ended up staying the latest.
yeah,
Stay,
you, me, and Shan were the last. We're the oldest of the group, and we were the last ones dancing,
yeah.
which is pretty cool. We were just like all into the 80s and 90s music, and some of them didn't know what
Yeah,
some
they
of the
didn't
songs
know.
were. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was so fun. Oh my
It was
god, the pool.
like,
Oh
yeah, and then the pool, like there was a pool right there on the edge of the mountain, and
mm,
it
so
led to the sunset. And
yeah, it
yeah,
was so cool.
I
I
mean,
mean, I don't
I
even know.
cried. I cried like when we were leaving. I was like, I don't want to leave.
I know, I did too.
Like,
I mean, I could feel the energy coming from you, and I felt it strongly too. Like, I don't want to leave. Like, how are we gonna go back home after this?
I know. Like I was telling someone, it's like, when you go out of town and you're somewhere, and like after 3 or 4, maybe 5 days, you're like ready to get home.
Yeah,
I didn't feel that way,
I
Like
didn't either. And
I was like, can we stay an extra 2 or 3 days?
I feel that way on every vacation.
What, like you want
But
to come back home?
yeah, like I'm ready to come back home, either because I have, pets, a dog. Usually I have a dog waiting for me, but now I don't have a dog, so it was a little easier to leave. But usually I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get back home, or I'm ready, to get out of somebody else's house, like somebody else's space. But it felt like it was our space, like,
Yeah.
and we were outside most of the time. It was just like a healing, it was the most relaxed, excited, and healing time I've had in one situation. Like I felt
Like
the
stress
only
free.
time I had any anxiety was like when you guys were gone somewhere. I didn't know where everybody was, and I was just like, okay, it's lunchtime, nobody's here, and I can't use my phone because I have to walk all the way up the hill to call somebody. The other than that, like I didn't. Well, then I kind of got overwhelmed with some energy that was happening. But it came to me, and then it was gone, and it's like, and I didn't have any worry about what was happening at home or anything like that, because I was so in the moment. And like the iridescent blue butterfly that just flutters,
Dude, I saw that at least 3 or 4 times.
and it just like comes like magic, right? It's just like,
Yeah,
oh
you're just chilling
hi.
there. You see like this iridescent blue butterfly, and it's huge. I
It's
mean,
huge,
it's like that big, like
and the way it moves is not like any other butterfly. It's like it's coming to visit you or like show you magic for a second. Like,
yeah,
oh. Whenever you were doing the workout classes, since we were faced that way, I
yeah.
kept seeing one and be like, oh my God,
I know. I saw you distracted.
I just was like, oh my God, look. No, it was like a visit from an angel is what it felt like every time.
Yeah. And then the insects, like that leaf bug that we
Oh
saw.
yeah, that
That
was
thing
super cool.
was so cool looking, man. It had like this whole leaf body, but you could see his little black eyes, like
Yeah,
on the
it
tip of
was
the.
a different kind of leaf bug than we have for sure.
I've never seen. I saw, praying mantis. I saw, those poison dark frogs, whatever they're.
Oh
They're
yeah,
like
those are cute.
super
Yeah.
red with like blue legs. I was like, that was really cool. And then, oh, the ants, you know how they carried all the
Yeah.
petals of flowers, and they were just like, and someone was saying they go a distance, like
Oh yeah, they're working
traveling.
hard.
Yeah, they're working hard. And what are they doing with those flower petals? Like those flower petals those were big ants though too. I
Yeah.
mean, they looked like they were on steroids. They were just
Mhm. Yeah.
but they were carrying all those flower petals, and you could just see it because the flower petals were like yellow and blue and red, and they're just like moving across the ground.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah,
Hummingbirds and
hummingbirds. And
the huge roaches.
oh, those were like tree roaches times two. I mean, they were like oval shaped, like a
And dark. Yeah, really dark.
arc. They were big, like an average tree roach. They were like 3 times the size of an average tree roach here. And I was blown away by how big those roaches were.
It's like I was looking at it in the bathroom like, I don't know, is it gonna fly on me? Like I was trying to love it just like I did all the other insects.
And then we saw that snake, and Chris picked it up. I was like, dude, like that snake could be poisonous. And it was. It had
Just moved it out of the way for us.
picked it up, and it was like at least a foot long, a foot and a half long, and he just picked it up by its tail. But it was slithering our way.
Yeah. Did you see how he said in the WhatsApp group that he really looked up to what's his name, the crocodile hunter guy?
Oh, Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw
I
that.
could see that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what else did we see? Lots of birds, and then we heard a kinkajou at night, but we didn't get to see one, even though we heard Rogelio was like, there's big eyes in the forest. We heard a lot of things in the forest. We don't know exactly what it was.
A lot of noises like that were unexplainable.
Yeah, and there were cats down there. A cat, at least one. There's no way a cat doesn't ever walk through there. Well, they said they have seen. There's like 2 people that told us at least a puma and a jaguar were seen. So they're there at night. I mean,
Chris would say, what did Chris say? He's like, they're the
ghosts.
They're the ghosts.
They're very elusive. Yeah, they're not going to show us. They're not gonna, they can see us. They're elusive. They're not gonna show their face.
Yeah.
So
definitely, like we had that one scenario that night, and
yeah,
took off running. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, the whole something fell in the forest or something ran. We're not really sure. I'm not really sure what happened because I wasn't on that side.
Across the trail. There's a lot of snack
screamed and ran.
Popping,
I'm surprised my phone didn't fall in the pool at that moment. Everybody ran over and like into me.
Uh-huh.
My phone was right there, and I was like, I picked it up real quick. I was like, what happened? I don't know what happened. All I know is something fell, and then everybody started running over to where I was. It was hilarious. And
that was pretty funny.
It was more hilarious because Rogelio was just so funny about it. Like, oh yeah, there's a strange noise. It's very unusual for this.
But don't be scared. Don't be alarmed.
Don't be alarmed. Enjoy the sounds.
Yeah, enjoy the sound.
And then crash.
Yeah, like Sonia, I remember she was just like, her eyes were big. She was like, oh my God. And I had my eyes, I was enjoying the sound, like just like this.
I know, I was too. I had no idea what was happening.
That was so cool, yeah.
I was just like, there's sounds on the floor. I just thought, that's just what it is. But then we did hear the big thing fall twice. But it was explained to us the next day that tree limbs fall a lot in the rainforest.
But I didn't hear no tree limbs falling in the daytime.
No, I did. Remember?
Really? I didn't.
Remember I remember we were somewhere and we saw a limb fall. We were like outside our house, like in the hammock or something. And I was like, oh, look, a limb just fell and made that big noise. So now we know that that's what could have happened in the forest last night, or it was like 2 days later after that happened. I mean, of course, an animal could have been walking through there and touched a dead tree branch and it fell. There's all kinds of things that could happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's
obviously there's cat, there is things down there that we can't see, and we're not gonna ever know what was down
That
there.
stuff was loud, like,
I know.
buddy.
And then it like echoes through the whole jungle.
Yes. I mean, it sounded like a human body, could have been on one and snapped it, like, I don't think those cats weigh that much. I mean, they don't.
Well, yes, I do. A panther?
Was 100,
A cougar?
cougar? I mean, they're big, are they? They're not.
They're bigger than us. They're bigger than me.
No, I'm gonna have to Google that and see how heavy they get.
I think they call them pumas there, right? Or mountain lions.
But I don't think they would come up to us like that. You know what I mean?
No. A cat would never do that unless you're messing with its cub or something.
Yeah.
Or you happen to walk through its, space.
Yeah. But we were walking in our space. Well, actually, that jungle is their space. But there was a trail with tiki
Right.
torches, everywhere. So you would think a cat wouldn't want to go buy some torches
Right.
on the trail.
Yeah. But I don't know. Whatever, that kinkajou didn't really care about that fire. I mean, we had a bonfire going, and that kinkajou was like right up in there
I know.
making those noises. I really wish you could have seen that.
Yeah, me too. I would have been. Like I said, I
Kind of was like, Rogelio, bring us to where you see those big eyes. I want to go see it.
Yeah, I would have been all about that.
But then the whole thing happened, and anyway, yeah, we had some adventures.
Off running.
I really felt like we were at camp. It was like,
Yeah.
it was like the most amazing camp, though. It wasn't like dirty outhouse kind of camp. So I remembered, I had to clean the outhouses in Girl Scout camp. I was like, ugh.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was just, I mean, seriously, I can't even. The next day, how sad it was hard. It was so hard to adjust. And we talked about it before we all came back. That was in our last ceremony. We talked about, how are we going to adjust back to the real world, because this has been so amazing. And I really didn't know how hard it was going to be.
Yeah, me neither.
It was like, oh
I mean,
my God.
as soon as we got home and off the plane, I mean, it's just like a crowd of people at the airport. People seem kind of antsy. We jump on the shuttle, honking going on, traffic. I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, I didn't want to come home to this. I really didn't.
Sorry, close my door. Yeah, I was definitely went through a depression that next day. And that's why I'm glad I scheduled a trip to the ranch immediately Saturday, because being there helped me really move through that quicker. And now I feel like I've adjusted, but I'm still like yearning, like, oh my God, when can I get back to the jungle? The beach and the jungle together. That's so tropical is just.
Oh, and then in the morning, like the temperature is like in the low 50s, so it's,
yeah, it was perfect. Like in the morning, it had a breeze, and it was.
It was a little chill for me, I was like.
And then it was hot in the afternoon. At the beach, it was majorly hot.
Yeah. Oh, so like that second time we went to the beach, like two of the guys
was really hot. Yeah.
Facility, came with us, and they set up a table and a canopy. Yeah. And we had fresh watermelon juice and
I know, it's so nice. We didn't have to worry about anything, right? Like, okay, it's time to get in the car. We're gonna go to this beach, and they tell us everything we need to know. And then the next day, it's like, okay, we're going.
Don't go too far in the water.
Fruit up here and water, and here's some sunblock. It's like,
yeah, like, and
you
those
were
guys
being taken care of. Like,
yeah, like you said.
Words.
Yeah, yeah. For sure.
That is the way to go. Retreats are the way to go, people. I'm just saying, like, when you're at that kind of retreat, because like when I'm talking as in a teacher perspective, as the teacher of retreat, going to a retreat place that's going to kind of take care of you as well, and you're not doing everything.
Yeah, like, some of the people were mothers, so the girls who came were mothers, and they have to take care of their kids.
And they got to enjoy being taken care of.
Yeah, it was definitely a treat for them, for sure,
Yeah. And that's how I believe retreat should be. It should be like you come there and you feel taken care of. You have no worries in the world. You just get to work on yourself. think about what you want in life,
Yeah.
and relax and recharge. That's what a retreat means to me. And so I feel like most of the people got that out of our participants, and I totally got that. I didn't have any moments of like, because I felt like I had to, oh, we got to go teach this or whatever and do this. I didn't have any like moments of, I don't know, I guess going inside me, but I wasn't there for that. I was there to just really live in the moment and enjoy the surroundings, and I totally got that.
Then you did get something out of it.
I got more than I ever thought I would get out of it.
Yeah.
So happy that I decided to do a scary thing. It's only scary financially, right? And like we're programmed to be scared of finances and like losing money and all that. But money isn't real. Money doesn't go with us when we die. Our debt doesn't go with us when we die, but our experiences and our soul growth does. And that's important to me. So
Yeah.
moving forward, it's just all about like making sure you're having experiences and enjoying this human life, because we really have an amazing planet.
Yes.
And I want to enjoy it all. I want to see all the different, I want to go to Africa. And I want to go to Thailand. I just want to see all the different ecosystems.
Yeah. Me too. See how other people
So,
live. We
yeah,
take it for granted as Americans, We're like, oh,
we do. And we have so many cool ecosystems in America too.
yeah. Actually, I remember reading this that America has all 4 planes of terrain. Like we have desert, we have forests, we have.
Yeah. We do have a temperate rainforest in the Washington. And then Hawaii rainforest.
Mhm.
There's
a little bit of everything in America. You get all 4. Like some countries just have 1,
Yeah, we had deciduous forest and we have pines. The pine, like Texas has a lot of different,
terrain.
ecosystems too.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, you go 45 minutes from here and you'll see all the pines, right? And over here in Round Rock and into West Texas, your Central and West Texas, it's all like cedar, juniper, and it's kind of dry, but you go 45 minutes an hour, that way it's more humid and greener usually. Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So, well, we've been talking a long time.
Yeah, actually,
we could talk forever about this because we were so loving it. But this would be good because, like, if anybody asked us to hear about the trip, we'd be like, hey, listen to our podcast. We talked all about it. I mean, there are some stories we didn't say.
Yeah.
But we can save that for personal conversations. But all in all, it was like a dream.
It was.
It was like a dream. I can't even believe, like, I'm still like, how? It's like I woke up from a dream and I want to kind of go back and experience it. I'm like, I can't wait to go back. I want to bring Millie there one day, when she's a teen.
Yeah.
So she can enjoy it more. Right now, she's like, no, she doesn't want to go anywhere. But yeah, I still want to go back and do another retreat. I would love to go back to Imiloa in a few years. I know we have to work our way up there again, or, find another place. There's so many retreat centers there, but right now we're working on local. So we're working on a couples retreat coming up soon in the next 3 months. So if you guys want to bring your significant other and have a little mini Texas retreat in Wemberley or maybe somewhere else, or right now we're thinking Wemberley, then please stay tuned.
Yes. Let's see what's in store. So yeah, just a quick 2-day.
Yeah, just a quick 2-day, like, not like some deep inner work, let's say our marriage kind of retreat or our relationship. It's just like a fun, let's experience some bonding time and have an experience or do something different. It's so important that we're doing things different and not the same thing every day. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
what can we do different this month? Let's go experience something new and
Yeah.
have a bonding experience.
And with other people, you know?
And with other people, like get out and meet other people.
Yeah.
It's so important.
True.
So
we'll announce further details.
yeah, whenever we have them set, we will definitely let you know.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for listening and supporting us. We would appreciate if you would share this either on YouTube or on your favorite podcast place, either iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we would really appreciate a review. It really helps us keep going, or leave a comment on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys.
And we'll check you guys on the next episode. Thank you for listening to episode number 40 of Soul.